Konnichiwa, I'm John Hornick. Welcome to my Japanese Faves series where we'll cover every major type of Japanese food. This lesson, Donabe 8, is smoked chicken with miso tomato sauce. The sauce was inspired by a salmon recipe on the Toro, that's Toro.com website, which is where I bought my Donabe. But I modify it and I add some of the smoking liquid to the sauce. Smoking the chicken was inspired by my wife, Sarah. Note, the quantities in the notes make a sauce, not a broth. If you want this dish to be more of a stew with more broth, simply double or even triple the sauce ingredients. You could serve this dish with rice if you like, but it's pretty hearty and filling as it is. So let's start cooking. Now the first thing we're going to do is marinate the chicken. This is bone-in, skin-on chicken that's been cut up. The breasts have been cut into 3 pieces. And the thighs have been cut into 2 pieces, and the drumsticks have not been cut up at all. I have about 2 pounds of chicken here. You could use more. Then what we're going to do is pour in the marinade. Now this is Kaeshi. Now Kaeshi is kind of a building block sauce. You can see my video called Demystifying Japanese Shoyu-based sauces. Okay. But I've also given you the ingredients for Kaeshi in the notes. Then what we're going to do is close up the bag. Get the air out. And we're going to put that into a baking pan. Why in a baking pan? In case it leaks, all right? Then we're going to let that marinate for at least 2 to 3 hours, preferably overnight. And I'm going to just turn it every hour or so into the fridge. Okay, I've transferred the chicken from the marinade into this bowl. Now would be a good time for you to heat your smoker to 250 degrees. Keep the marinade that you had the chicken in. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to toss the chicken in some olive oil and some Tsuchimi Togarashi, which is the 7-spice powder. You could use Ichimi Togarashi. You could also use my anything rub if you like, okay? Get a nice coating of that on there. And then we're going to toss it so that they're coated. All right, now let's transfer the chicken into our pan that we're going to use for smoking. Skin side up. Now once you get your smoker up to temperature, 250 degrees, put the chicken into the smoker with whatever smoke source you're using for your particular smoker. And then smoke it skin side up, uncovered, for 30 minutes into the smoker. All right, now let's turn the chicken pieces over so we have skin side down. Now we're going to go back into the smoker for an hour. Okay, I just took the chicken out of the smoker. We're going to brush it with the juices that have accumulated in the pan here, in the roasting pan. And then I'm going to brush it with the marinade. Then we're going to add the rest of the marinade to the roasting pan. We're going to cover it. And then we're going to put it back into the smoker for 30 minutes. Okay, I've just taken the chicken out of the smoker. We're going to let it rest covered at room temperature for about 15 minutes or so. All right, now we're going to take the chicken pieces and pull the skin away, and then we're going to very coarsely pull this chicken. Okay, we don't want to shred it too
small or thin. I don't want the chunks to be too big, so I'm going to use a combination of my fingers and possibly a fork if I need it, and also a knife to cut up the pieces if they come off too big. So we just did the one chicken leg, and I'm just going to cut it just a little bit so the pieces are just a little bit smaller. You can see how big that is. I'm just going to make it just a little bit smaller than that, okay? And I'm going to do all of the pieces of chicken that way. Okay, now we're going to mix the sauce first with the DCTP. What's that? Double concentrate tomato paste, all right? DCTP. Then the red miso. It usually doesn't come out as easily as that. Then the dashi. Oh, I'm sorry, that was the sake. Then the dashi. And we're going to mix that up. Now we're going to add the smoking liquid. Stir that in. Now let's taste it. Very nice. Okay, we have about 2 tablespoons of olive oil in the pan here. We're going to heat that up, and then we're going to cook the shallots, garlic, and mushrooms. Now, if you have a donabe where you can do this in the donabe, do it there. But I am not sure that I can do this sauteing in the donabe. My donabe instructions say that you should not heat it empty, okay? It should have liquid in it. Now this isn't exactly liquid. This is some oil. So I'm not going to take the chance and do it in my donabe. But if you know that you can do sauteing in your dry donabe, then do it there. I'm doing it in a separate pan, then I'm going to transfer it over to the donabe. Okay, we're going to add in the shallots and the garlic and the mushrooms. I was going to use shiitake mushrooms, but they were all out, so I'm just using regular cremini mushrooms. Now we're going to let those cook a little bit, get a little color on them. Give them a little bit of sea salt or kosher salt lightly, and some freshly ground black pepper. And we're going to stir these occasionally. Let them cook until we have the shallots wilted and we start to get a little bit of color in the shallots and the mushrooms. All right, we're starting to get some color here. It's only been like about 2 to 3 minutes of stir frying. We're going to go another couple of minutes to get a little bit more color on them. Okay, these are looking beautiful, so we're going to take them off of this heat and transfer them into the donabe. All right, we're going to transfer the mushrooms, shallots, and garlic to the donabe. Then we're going to add the chicken. the asparagus, another piece of chicken there, and the sauce. Mix that up a little bit. Okay. Now we're going to cover it, and we're going to bring it just to the boil. Okay, now I know this has come to a boil because there's steam coming out this hole. Now there's not a lot of liquid in here, so you're not going to get as much steam as if you had a lot of liquid, but I can feel it coming out, so I know it's boiling and I can kind of hear it. So I'm going to reduce the heat, and we're going to let it simmer for about 5 minutes. Okay, it's been simmering for about 5 minutes. We're going to add the arugula. Now this is really just kind of give it some texture and a little bit of extra color, okay? So we're not using much of it, probably like about a ½ ounce, okay? And we're going to just put that in and let that wilt. And then we're going to add the shredded carrot at this stage too, okay? We're going to cover it, and we're just going to let it cook for a couple minutes till that asparagus is wilted. Okay, simmering nicely. I'm going to turn it down as far as it'll go. Now we're going to plate this up. Oh, that looks good. Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to garnish with a few of the sliced scallions, and there we have it. This is Donabe, I think it's Donabe 8, but I'm going to check that for the title. This is smoked chicken with miso tomato sauce. You can see photos of the final dish at my Instagram, which is @Chef's Apprentice, Cook Like a Pro. Please remember to subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.